in the market for a new printer for your home office or small business, I've got a printer today that you might be interested in checking out. Hey there everyone, how are you doing? I am Joe Marin from MobileCupOfJoe.com, and in this episode of Mobile Cup of Joe, I'm going to be reviewing the HP OfficeJet 6600 all-in-one inkjet printer. Guys, this printer, it's got fax, it's got scan, copy, printing, all the basic things you need in an all-in-one inkjet printer. You have a big loading tray that can hold an entire half ream of paper, lots of software on here, and with a price point of $125, there's a lot going for this printer for that smaller price tag. So is the OfficeJet 6600 the printer you need to get for your home office or small business? Let's find out right now in my full review. But guys, before we go any further, please go ahead and grab that coffee cup, fill it up, bring it over, and sit on down. Take a swig for your Mobile Cup of Joe.
Alright, before we get too far in this video review, I'd like to give a really big thank you and shout out to our friends and pals over at HP for hooking us up with the HP OfficeJet 6600 and other awesome HP products. Guys, it's because of companies like HP that do make Mobile Cup of Joe possible, because they send us products like the OfficeJet 6600 to unbox and review for you guys, our fans. So big thanks to HP, and without further ado, because I had to turn off my air conditioning to film this video, not going to be too terribly long because I'm sweating like a bullet back here, so let's go ahead and hop into our review. And we're going to start that off by taking a quick little tour around the printer. So on the very top of the OfficeJet 6600, we have our ADF tray right here, which for those of you who don't know, an ADF is an automatic document feeder for faxing papers to people. It is a 35-page ADF, so you can hold up to 35 pieces of paper in here at once. The heat's already getting to me. I can't talk already. And then if you lift this up, you have access to your scanner underneath your ADF. Then if you go to the bottom right-hand side from the scanner, you have your 2.6-inch touchscreen, which we'll get into a little bit later in the review. And going to the left from the touchscreen, we have a little tray right here that you can pull down to have access to our ink cartridges. They should be coming out pretty soon. There they are. Very simple to install your ink cartridges. You have your magenta, cyan, yellow, and black. Just put this back up and you're ready to go. So very easy access to change your ink cartridges. It's not always very easy to change them in printers, so it's nice to be able to have it so easily here in the 6600. Now below that, let's move our camera down a bit. Below that, we have our paper output tray. We can pull it out a little too far right there. Let's see if we can put that back in. So okay, that's secure now. So you can see if we just tilt this down, this is where our paper comes out from. You just slide this out and you can pull this little thing down. So it does stick out a little bit, but your paper does come out nicely. This does stop it pretty good when you're printing or copying papers or images. Then if you slide that back and you lift it up, you have access to your paper loading tray right here. This tray right here can hold a total of 250 pieces of paper. And for those of you keeping track at home, that's a half ream of paper, which is really nice, especially if you're in a small business or a home office, which is really the market that HP is marketing this printer towards. It's nice to be able to have a tray that holds an entire half ream of paper, so you're not constantly going back and forth to reload the paper. Even if you're not buying this for a home office, even if you're just buying it for personal use, it is nice to have a paper tray to hold that many pieces of paper. Now, as you can see, the HP OfficeJet 6600, it doesn't really do anything revolutionary for the design of printers, but it does look really good. All along the printer, on the paper input and output trays, on the touch screen, on the corners, and on the ADF tray, there's lots of curves and waves on the edges and corners, and there's also a good combination of non-glossy plastic with glossy plastic that do make it look very nice. This looked really good on my table sitting in my house, a lot better than my old printer. So again, nothing revolutionary for the design of printers, but it does look very good. Now let's talk about a few features of the OfficeJet 6600. I can't really demo them to you right now, but one of the coolest features about this printer is called ePrint. So when you buy your OfficeJet 6600 and you set it up, you'll get a randomized email address assigned to this printer. You're going to go to HP's website and log into your account, or create a new one if you don't have an HP account already. And when you do so, you'll get your email address and you'll set up a password for it. So then you can customize the email address as well. But then once you have your email address all set up from the printer that you got, you can print anything from the printer no matter where you are. So for an example, say that your printer is at your house and you travel to your uncle's house or something, and you found a document that looks really interesting. So just copy the document, put it in your Gmail client or Yahoo Mail client on your Android or iOS smartphone, whatever device you have access to email to, and just copy that document you found in your body of your email message and send it to the email address that came equipped with your printer. And once the printer recognizes that email that it got sent to it, it'll actually print that document you sent in the email right from the printer. So it's really nice to be able to really print anything no matter where you are right to your home printer. Very, very cool feature here in the OfficeJet 6600. Also has great image quality when it prints. Text is pretty crisp, no fuzziness really at all. Images, lots of bright colors. All in all, really impressed with the photo quality and the print quality on the OfficeJet 6600. One thing, though, I did have an issue with is the fact that there are no options for duplex printing on here. Again, like we mentioned before, you do have that 250 tray of paper right there, but a lot of the times on all-in-one inkjet printers nowadays, we're seeing duplex printing. Now, for those of you that don't know, duplex printing is the ability to be able to print on two sides of paper. So for an example, I could have this piece of paper right here, and I could print more stuff on the back of it right from my printer. You don't have the option here on the OfficeJet 6600, and since this is a printer marketed towards small businesses or home offices, you'd think that HP would want to include that functionality here, but there is no duplex printing here on the OfficeJet 6600. Another thing I'd like to point out that I kind of had an issue with is the fact that there are no micro SD card slots or USB ports anywhere on the printer. Most of the time, we will see them located under the touchscreen or somewhere along the bottom of the printer. But as you can see here, there are no ports, no SD card slots, no USB ports. And this is really a bit of a bummer because this means you can't have images on an SD card or a USB flash drive, and you can't plug them into this printer and print them or scan them or copy them from there. Absolutely no ports here on the OfficeJet 6600, which again, like the absence of the duplex printing, do make this not quite as efficient or versatile as you would expect from a printer that's being marketed towards offices, or small offices really at that. So now with all of the features and stuff out of the way, let's take a look at the touchscreen and the software that comes equipped here on the HP OfficeJet 6600. So now we're going to be taking a look at the software and the touchscreen here on the HP OfficeJet 6600. So on your touchscreen, you have a few buttons on the side. You have a 2.65-inch touchscreen right here. It gets pretty bright and the resolution is pretty good, especially for a touchscreen on a printer. On the left-hand side, you have a home button and a left arrow button. Over on the right, you have a right arrow button along with a question mark button. And all these buttons work like you'd expect. The home button takes you back to your main home screen. The left arrow button moves you along through the main little screen in the icons here, helps you navigate. Same story goes for the right arrow button. And pressing on this question mark button gives you a little help screen if you have any questions about your printer, any questions about the 6600. All that information can be found here on the help button. So it is really nice that HP did include that here on the 6600. Now in terms of your user interface, you have three icons right here. You have copy, fax, apps, and then you have scan, setup, auto answer, and discover. Now above these three icons, you have four smaller icons. I'll see if I can zoom in on those a bit more. Right there. Move the camera up a little bit. The first one on the left-hand side right here is your button that's going to show you if you have any available software updates for the printer. Next to that, the little status signal bar right there is going to show you your wireless network status. This eco button right here will show you your timeout settings for your screen and the overall brightness for it. And the button next to that shows you the levels of ink you have available in your ink cartridges. So really nice to have those graphics and settings there on the OfficeJet 6600's touchscreen. Now, one of the coolest parts about the software here on the 6600 are apps. If we go to apps right here, it's going to connect to the HP App Center. And you see that we have more icons right here. So you can download things like savings, so you can download coupons. And you can, so for example, for the savings app, when you download the application, you can print coupons and use them at stores. If you get Disney Channel or if you get 7-Day Menu, you can print out a little recipe planner. If you get Crayola Daily, which is really cool, you can actually print out coloring book pages. And when you download an app, for example, Crayola Daily right here, every day there will be a new coloring page. You can actually set it up to where every day a new coloring page is automatically printed from the OfficeJet 6600. And I'll actually show you right now an example of one of the Crayola Daily pages. You can see right here, that's a really nice coloring page right there. You have a Crayola coloring pages, and a very nice little thing for kiddos right there. And again, you can see the quality of the paper and the print quality is very, very high. And it's really nice to be able to have, if you want to print a puzzle or a crossword or a menu planner or a coloring book page, there's a lot of value-added applications here on the OfficeJet 6600. Now, one of the applications that is pre-installed is called HP Quick Forms. Now, from Quick Forms, you can actually print calendars, games, graph paper, music paper, notebook paper, checklist, fax covers, everything. I'm going to show you actually right now some notebook paper that we printed from the OfficeJet 6600, and you can see right there, it is basic notebook paper. On the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little HP logo, which you can see right there. But all in all, if you need some notebook paper from class or something, really nice to have that functionality here. Now, this is where the duplex printing would come in handy, because you can see the back is plain white. We only have the notebook paper design on the front. And again, if you'd have duplex printing on there, you could really get a true, authentic, dual-sided piece of notebook paper. But all in all, the software and the touchscreen on the OfficeJet 6600 does work really, really great. So that's going to about wrap up my review of the HP OfficeJet 6600. I ended up giving the printer a 7 out of 10. In terms of pros, we got a really nice design. The paper tray holds an entire half ream of paper, a good printing quality, a decent selection of applications. But we did dock it, or I did dock it 3 points because, there's no option for duplex printing, and there's still no slots for an SD card or USB ports. This is getting docked 3 points especially because HP is marketing this printer towards small businesses or home offices. And if you're going to buy a printer for a small business or home office, you're going to want to really need, and you're going to especially need duplex printing and SD card slots and USB ports for USB flash drives. So those two features are really key for an all-in-one inkjet office, especially a home office printer, a small business printer. And since they're not present here on the OfficeJet 6600, it is a bit disappointing. Now, this is really a good printer if you're going to buy it just for personal use. Again, you have those value-added applications from HP, which do give you a lot of versatility. You have a nice design, and it is really cool that you can hold so much paper. If you're looking for something a little bit cheaper, though, the HP PhotoSmart 5520, which we also reviewed here in Mobile Cup of Joe, only cost about $80 or $90. Now, granted, you do have a smaller paper loading tray. You do have a full-size SD card slot, so you're going to give and take a few settings depending on what option you go with. This printer right here, the OfficeJet 6600, is selling for about $125 through Amazon.com. And for that price, it's really not a bad printer. If you're in the market for a new printer, you want something that can hold a lot of paper, has good value-added applications, pretty nice design, good image quality, this might be the printer for you. So please feel free to leave your thoughts about the printer in the comments below, what you think about my review of it, and that's all the time we have for this episode of Mobile Cup of Joe. Guys, if you liked the video, please go ahead and hit the like button if you liked it. It takes 1 second to do so, and it really does help support the show. And if you want to show support towards the show even more, I would really appreciate it if you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more Mobile Cup of Joe videos. Guys, Mobile Cup of Joe, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, and make sure you head on over to www.mobilecupofjoe.com for the latest in technology news, reviews, giveaways, and more. I'm Joe Martin from mobilecupofjoe.com. I am about to leave and end this video because my air conditioning has been off for about 20 minutes now. I can't talk anymore. I'm going to die of heat exhaustion if I don't get that baby back on soon. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.